Jorge's been talking about being single all night, so guess we'll go with that. Look, in case you guys don't know, the modern day definition for dating. Dating is when you turn off the TV, you get off the couch, you get dressed, and you go out long enough to find someone who's comfortable coming back to your house, getting undressed, sitting on the couch and watching TV with you. That's it. You scout, you retrieve, and you go back into your daily life. I will tell you, I thought the best way to get advice for relationships was to ask people who've been married for a while. That was a huge mistake. One of my friends, they've been married for over 15 years. I said, you guys are young, you're successful at this, you're doing it well. What's the secret? How did you guys meet? They said, well, actually, we met in high school. That advice only works if you are currently enrolled in high school. Okay, all right. So I thought, not to sound like a creeper, but different tactics, all right? So I figured, look, one of the best places to meet women is at the library, because if you're going to start a conversation with someone, it's good to have something in common. So for both at the library, that means neither of us can afford home internet. You know what I mean? Like you start from there, and it's like you build up equal standards. Nice. So like I don't have the luxury of a washer and dryer. I figure, okay, cool. Laundromat, that's a captive audience. I mean, what's she gonna do, run out with wet clothes? Because most of the time on dates, you're picturing what they look like in their underwear. But at the laundromat, you spend 40 minutes watching them fold it. Nice. Okay. At least you know it's clean. A lot of people like to go online for dating because they don't like the idea of someone lying to their face. I feel like online dating is just like who's better at Photoshop and lying. I met a girl online. It went well. 3 months later, I'm like, we should probably meet in person. So I figured, let me negotiate. I was like, look, let's get together. Let's meet at the food court of the mall. The food court of the mall, because she needed witnesses to feel comfortable, and nothing at the food court cost more than $9. So I thought it was a win-win. She went the Chick-fil-A route, went up to 12 bucks, not a big deal. But beforehand, I was a little bit paranoid because, again, Photoshop. So I said, look, it has been great chatting with you these past 3 months. Could you just do me a quick favor? Could you just take a picture of you holding today's newspaper, just below your chin? Just want to read the headline. I mean, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just I don't believe you. So then, I mean, even if you luck out, you get on a date, doesn't necessarily mean to be successful. I did something I thought was extremely romantic, okay? So we met at the park, because this is like just post-quarantine, right? So we meet at the park, nice, easy, exits everywhere, not a creeper, just about being comfortable. So we're about an hour into it, and I can see she's on her way out, she has other things to do. So I did something I thought extremely romantic. I carved both of our names in the tree. We were sitting very nearby. She was very impressed that I spelled her name correctly. Wasn't comfortable with the knife though. She's like, why do you have it? I'm like, it's New Orleans. Are you kidding me? You don't have 3 of them? All right. On another date, it wasn't going that well. She was nice to look at. It was difficult to talk. This is not about women not being great, just that particular woman not being great. We had daiquiris at the table, so I was just like, I bet you 20 bucks that you cannot tie that cherry stem in a knot. I lost $20, but I gained 8 minutes of peace. It was incredible. Highly recommend. So then, all right, fine, like, grew up in South Florida, here in New Orleans. Where do young people meet? The club, right? Because I think like a nightclub, like what better preparation for marriage than yelling at each other at 1 o'clock in the morning? You know what I mean? Like I feel like it really sets the tone, sets up the next 10 years. But it's weird because like nightclubs, it's weird. Like everybody's wearing all black, it's dark, it's poorly lit, right? It's like a funeral, except it has a DJ and lasers. Everyone's mourning the death of their honesty. It's incredible. Now, the first issue I had is a girl I was talking to asked me the question of all questions. And usually, if they ask me this, within a minute or two, I'm gone. Take a wild guess. There it is. She said, what sign are you? What sign are you? The problem with that is that once you tell them what sign you are, they are not thinking about you. They are thinking about every fucking Gemini they ever dated in their life or interacted with. They're just like, you're great, you're good looking, but I can't trust that month. I dated a Gemini, kicked my dog, stole money from my purse. Sorry, move along. I'm just like, I had no control over any of that. But I could tell, being a Sag, that you're very temperamental anyway. So, joke's on you. I'm a short guy, and ladies seem to have this obsession with tall men. I don't get it. Like, do you have like a bunch of underutilized shelving in your house? You're like, sure, he's verbally abusive and doesn't get along with my family, but look at the decor. It's incredible, right? Don't look at the bruise, look at the pop. It's incredible. Because at first when I got this, like, oh, tall ceilings, I couldn't use it at first, but then Jeff came into my life. Another restraining order. But first, now, can we just talk about the logistics real quick? Like, let's say it gets to the point where you guys are having sex, and you're like 5'4", and he's 6'2". You spend your entire time trying to dodge his like nipple hair and all that shit going on over there. You're like, are you enjoying this? He's up there like fucking composing an essay, checking some emails. He's like, yeah, it's good, it's good. He's in a completely different city at that point. I don't get it. So I'm standing by the bar. I'm talking to this girl, it's going really well. She says, what are you drinking? Here's the big thing, I don't actually drink alcohol. But I don't want to tell them that because that's predator. She looked at me when I said ginger ale, and she was like, ginger ale and what? I'm like, well, just ginger ale. She was more mad at the fact that there was nothing in my drink than most women would be if you put something in theirs. Anyway, so she made a quick assumption. I have to tell you, a lot of comedians will say, oh my God, this really happened. No, this really, really happened. In Miami, Florida, I told a girl I only had ginger ale in my cup. And she says, this is the whole rant. She says, oh my God, so you're like an alcoholic. I'm like, no. She puts her finger over my mouth. She's like, if you have a drinking problem, being here at this bar probably isn't best for you. And I will tell you, I cannot date another alcoholic. I have made promises to my friends and my family, people who love me. I cannot be with another alcoholic. She's like, I don't care how cute you are. I have to walk away. It's not about you, it's me. And she walks away and I'm just like, you thought I was cute? Like, what did, let's just start backwards from there. Compliment, and then I'll pour whatever the fuck you want in the cup. I don't care. You know, it's not a thing. Here's the thing. Okay, I don't drink. When I tell people that, they always assume that there's a story, right? There has to be. They always assume that either me, my mom, or my dad had some horrible drinking problem. Okay? There's no story. I just do not like the taste of alcohol. I also do not eat mayonnaise. But that's because my dad beat the fuck out of me with a mayonnaise jar all throughout my childhood. It's pretty traumatic. My friends know, and they're never like, hey man, we might go to some places that serve mayonnaise. Is that cool with you? I might have a little bit of mayonnaise, but not crazy like last week. No one ever asks about the mayonnaise. That's fine. Anyway, so I'm still at this club. I'm like an hour and a half in. That's like 7 crappy conversations. And the DJ does what DJs always do. Plays one of those Beyonce songs and is like, where's my single ladies at? And while I'm grateful, I'm just sitting there thinking, where the fuck were you 90 minutes ago? This is, thank you. Okay, she cheered, she cheered. She's going to the bathroom, that gives me 12 minutes, and she cheered. Great, all right. See, the thing is, I don't necessarily like want to be single. I'm single because of really shitty communication. What you say isn't what I hear. For instance, when me and the last girl broke up, my friends were like, what happened? I was like, she was really controlling. Like, what do you mean? Well, I was like, look, it's been really great spending time with you. I'm gonna go ahead and out with friends. And she was like, have a good night. Now it's just like, don't tell me what kind of night to have. And this other girl was super competitive. I do not like competitive people. 4 months into the relationship, I gathered the courage and I'm like, look, I want you to know I love you. And she's like, I love you more. I was just like, I don't need this. Anyway, it's about listening. I'll finish. Ghosting has gotten so bad. It is New Orleans. This is a haunted city. But ghosting has gotten so bad that when people ask me, do you believe in ghosts? My response is, no, I'm sure she's busy with work. She has like a really emotionally needy dog. I'm sure she'll get back to me. But I do want to come up with a show called Ghost Hunters. Ghost Hunters. We don't look for supernatural beings. We just go to local bars trying to find out why Stacy hasn't called John back in 4 days. And we expose the ghost by opening their text messaging app to show that they read the message. Is this a seance? I saw 3 dots. You were reaching out. And then nothing. Christopher Anthony, you guys have been great.